Welcome to this mobility warm-up session. Now, this isn't technically a follow-along class. I'm going to demonstrate 5 mobility exercises for you, and then I'd like you to repeat them twice or maybe even 3 times through. This could, if you were having just like a rest day, could even be a little mini workout for you. Now, a warm-up, traditionally, we think of just warming up the body. So if we were in the gym setting, going on the treadmill for 10 minutes to warm up. But actually, research is showing that warm-ups need to be a way to prep and prime the body for the workout that you're about to do. So I've chosen 5 exercises that I know would be perfect for all of the workouts that I have on here, but also just from experience training different clients, I know what the main mobility issues usually are that need to be addressed. So we're going to start on our mat. Exercise number 1 is your cat stretch. And by the way, I may repeat some of these in the workouts themselves. That's just a bonus for you, okay? But this is your chance to really focus on your mobility. So we want to start by coming into a really well-supported all-4 position. We're going to demonstrate 5 of these cat movements for you. Roll the shoulders into the back of the body and feel strong through the arms. Take an inhale breath. Exhale as you scoop the belly, tuck the tailbone under, send your head through your arms and then slowly release. And again, inhale, exhale, rounding. Now, in Pilates, we do this movement, obviously, but it's nice to also notice that this is a mobility exercise. So for example, if you're feeling a little bit of tightness in the back of the body, you'll feel it doing this movement, and your body, you'll intuitively just want to do a few more of these if you're feeling quite tight. One more time, we're going to release. And then this is your last one. Exhale to round. And then we release. Okay, feel free to take pauses in between. As I said, this is just me demonstrating the exercises to you. Okay, now we're going to do something that we do in Pilates a lot, a leg and arm extension. So a full extension, nice and zipped up through the abdominals, and then release. What I want you to think about when you're doing this movement is actually 2 things. We're prepping the core, and I've definitely talked about this in other videos. We're prepping the core to hold the leg and arm in position, but we're also prepping the shoulders, the all-important shoulders. And I know that it's sometimes challenging to actually have the arm up in this position in line with the ear. We're going to work on that again in a moment. 2 more times. And then 1. And then let's come back into a mini stretch, take a little pause, and then we're back on all 4s. Okay, we're actually going to come up into a plank position, but we're only holding it for a very short amount of time. So you want to get yourself into a plank, but you're going to step forwards with your left leg, okay? Now, your hands are inside the leg, and I'm a very tight-hipped person, so you might actually look more comfortable than I do doing this, but it's a good one. Okay, now this is my left hand, this is my left foot. I'm going to take my left hand onto my right shoulder and I'm going to rotate, and you will see me do this in other classes as well, but as I say, this is our chance to really hone in on the mobility. So all we're doing is like a thread the needle, we're stretching up and then tapping the shoulder. And at the same time, we're getting some nice release work through the hip and the back of the leg. So to come out of this, you could come back into a plank and then step forwards with the other leg. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to face you now so you can see how it looks from the front. So you've got 2 hands in between. Now this is my right leg, this is my right arm. Right hand onto my shoulder and then open out. And as I'm twisting, again, my body's telling me what's feeling tight today. Pretty much everything. But what I find when I do these mobility movements and my clients do them is all the other exercises get easier. So where you're feeling a little bit tight now, we're better off loosening this, come out of that, loosening it all up now than when you're trying to loosen up during the actual workouts. Okay, from there, we're actually going to make our way up to standing. So what I'd like you to do for me is come back onto all 4s. So once you've completed all those reps, and you may want to stay on the mat for longer, we're going to tuck the toes under, and we're going to come up into your down dog. So let's hold it here for a moment. It's another way of prepping and priming the body. Soften the knees, walk the hands back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hang forwards. And we're going to round all the way up. Now the roll up, the Pilates roll up or roll down, we do that very often in the classes. We're going to repeat it a couple more times now with the focus on prepping the lower back and the backs of the legs. So we're going to take an inhale breath, I'm going to drop the chin towards the chest and we're going to round down. Softening the knees and then scoop the belly as we round up. We're going to do that one more time. Of course, do as many of these as you like. What will happen is you'll get used to just running through these exercises. You'll probably be able to do this soon without even watching this video. You'll remember them ready for your workouts. Okay, so that's the Pilates roll down. Now I'm going to show you something a little bit different. You're going to take your legs a little bit wider, so they're wider than hip bones. Let's say just a little bit outside of the hips or the shoulder width. And I'm going to turn my back to you. This is called a handcuff. You're going to cup your wrist with one hand and let the arms or the wrist rest onto the lower back. The lower back, that's important. Okay. So now, softening the knees. We're not going to round down. Instead, we're going to hinge. Now, in this position here, you can feel a stretch in the backs of the legs. Your knees are slightly bent. You're going to scoop the core up as you squeeze. Now, when you get here, you're squeezing your bum. You're lifting your abdominals. So what does this feel like? A deadlift, or it's known as a good morning as well. This hinge position is setting your back up for the workout. And if anything doesn't feel good for you now, you'll know maybe you need to do a bit more stretching or a bit more priming. We're going to do another 2 and 1 and then release it. So obviously you can then switch hands and I tend to do about 8 of those. And what I also do is sometimes I repeat them during a workout. So if we're having a break for a minute and you're like, oh, my back still feels a bit sore, just go into your handcuff position and go into that mobility work. Okay, this is the final exercise. I've saved the best till last because I know without even being there with you that the shoulders might be feeling quite tight today. We're going to bring our feet back into a parallel position, so sitting right underneath your hips. Bring your palms together. Again, you might see me do this in other videos. Lock the shoulders into place and make sure your abdominals are gently connected. Take your arm up towards the ear. Rotate the whole body as you turn the arm away and return it back. Same arm. Repeat. Now I'm doing this at a funny angle so you can see the full rotation. What you might not be able to see is how my body moves with the arm. The pelvis especially. You don't want to leave the pelvis behind. One more time. But feel what the shoulder feels like. We're going to switch. As you go into that full rotation, feel what that shoulder feels like. It's usually quite tight and clicky. And by the way, you might find you're more tight and clicky doing these workouts. So just keep that mobility work going so you can be stronger. Okay, release. So a quick thing before I go. The perfect mobile body is a body that is flexible enough to deal with your daily life and strong enough to deal with your daily life. So by adding these mobility moves to your workouts, we are covering all bases. You've got your Pilates, your bit of HIIT, your loads of strength training workouts, and your mobility. You've literally covered everything. So anyway, repeat those as you need to. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you at the next class. Take care.